All right. Good morning. Good morning. Apologize for the delay in getting going this morning. I just honestly just got distracted looking through my emails, catching up on some stuff. I forgot to set everything up, so kind of scrambling to get that done. But here now, ready to go. Get started on another art piece. The other thing I was having trouble with was kind of coming up with an idea for... Oh, let me double check that my audio's... Yeah. Coming up with an idea for... what's the word? The subject of the art piece that we're going to do today. But I have some time still to think about it while we do the usual, looking through last week's art piece and kind of coming up with what worked, what didn't, and what I work on this week. So let's get going, shall we? First off, the art that I did last week, I am still largely happy with. There are some things that I am like particularly excited about. In particular, I'm really happy with the decision to go with like the purple shadows in there. I really like the way that has come out. I wish I had included some other colors in like the darker areas here, because it's fine. It's just not very exciting for me. And then for the judge over here as well, like some of the brighter colors are in there and that looks decent, but it's also not like, I can tell that was the first thing that I painted and I wasn't being like, I don't know, really pushing myself to play with the colors, because the most of like this gray area here is just gray and it's not super interesting. So I would like to still continue working on like pushing colors and just playing around with like some of the like these, like I some of the bigger brush strokes here and like the layering of colors on top of things, because I like the way this turned out. I think in terms of framing, what I would have liked to do is I think I would have preferred maybe exploding it out this way a bit more instead of like the flames trailing. Just have it like explosions here, explosions, because that's more, again, once I did the boss fight a few more times, that was definitely more what it looked like. It wasn't on fire as the last judge threw it, but that was I didn't know that at the time, really. What else? There's a little bit right here, this divot in Hornet's head that kind of changes the shape, and doesn't have that smooth like line that Hornet has, that I would do differently, I think, or just like spend a little bit more time on. But overall, I'm pretty happy with like the shapiness of like this area here. Like I like the way that looks, and like the big chunky lines are very much things that I enjoyed from last week's piece. So I think that's something that I want to try to keep in mind a little bit more, is larger brush strokes, more colors, and then we'll try to work on that from there. Yeah. So in terms of the art piece that I want to do this week, I'm not entirely sure. I was hoping that something would come to me throughout the week, as it usually does when I'm thinking about this, but fortunately I got nothing. The closest I got, I think, is possibly doing like just a peaceful scene with Hornet playing her what was it called in game, Needle-in, with Sherma, them just playing music together or hanging out. That's maybe what I'll do, just something chill and relaxed. But we'll move over to the sketching stage and try to figure out some thumbnails that look interesting around that theme. So yeah, if anybody shows up in the next little bit with a suggestion for some fan art that they'd like to see, I'm fully open to it. But as of now, we're just going to do a chill scene with Sherma and Hornet, just kind of chilling out, playing their instrument, singing together. So towards that end, let us, oh, actually, hang on. Let me pull up a reference image of Sherma so that I know what I'm working with. There we go. Great. Okay. Cool. So let's try to do 4. We'll do several thumbnails. Try to figure out what we want to do. So, want it on this side. Or end up playing the needle in. And then Sherma round head. Little bell thing. Walking stick. Okay. Not super fond of that. What if we do similar idea, just smaller, so we get the full bodies of them. And Sherma's on a rock, so we have them more kind of equal height. Needle in. That's kind of making the center a little crowded. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of. So let's see what it looks like if we have them facing the other direction. So if we have pointed it on this side with the needle in out here, same deal. I want her to be smaller in the center of the frame. And then Sherma here. Again, on a rock of sorts. Their walking stick and bell thing. Oh. That's better. I don't know, it doesn't... It's missing kind of a... Maybe the cozy will just be from the colors. But it's not very interesting compositionally for me right now. Do I... I guess the question is, what is the focus of the piece for me? Is it Sherma? Is it Hornet? Is it both? Like, it's the music playing together, I think, that I really want to be like the central focus. So I do want them to be in the middle. So if we do Hornet here with the needle in out here this way, and then do Sherma on the ground instead of on a rock. We're still in the same issue of not really having, not really being super dynamic. But then that will maybe give me an opportunity to really push into doing interesting stuff in the background to show that they're playing music. I mean, the other thing I could do is... No. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe it's just Sherma and we do a bigger full-scale image like we have here. Maybe that's what I do. I just try to, base off of that artwork, play around with a bunch of the colors and really give myself the challenge of making that what I want to do. I don't know. Let's... Yeah, let's just take advantage of the digital medium, and I will just start painting the characters, and then from there, I guess we will I don't know, I'll be able to play around with layout and figure out maybe something interesting as we go. But this is definitely not the most auspicious of starts for a painting, but we'll see what we can do. And since I don't really have great thumbnail to go off of, I'm just going to not do that. And then for the background, we'll do a darker blue-ish, I think. Blue and green. Oh goodness, that's not. Oh no, why is it going so slow? What is going on? Oh gosh. Is just the size too big? It doesn't like the size? It doesn't like the size. Okay. We'll reduce the size then. That's fine. Go mess around with some of the colors. Give myself an interesting background to work with to start. And then we will kind of touch the airbrush to it. Give myself kind of some of a gradient to work with so it's not fully overwhelmed in the background. We're all in the blue colors currently. Let's give us some fun bright orange. That is just going to be like oops. Nope, take it back. I'm going to add those in, like some of the brighter colors once I know where the characters are going to be, so I can kind of try to evoke some music playing elements of the painting. But for now, we'll stick with background and we'll keep that there. Up next, we'll do start with Sherma, because I haven't painted Sherma before. So we'll start with Sherma. Reset the brush size. Go back into full screen so you guys can have a better view of what I'm working on. And then we will just from the sketch go with the rough layout. That orange actually works decently well for Sherma's shape. A hat for them. Go with, and again, just for getting the colors or the shapes blocked in. Sherma's kind of a grayish purple. So we'll start with this. Their hat. But here, get a large head. Make the head even larger. And I got the body, and then more vibrant purple for the cloak. some legs. And then the walking stick. And the bell. I'm going to say it's the same color as the hat. Okay. Cool. Basic shapes blocked in. Let us start refining, which in this case oh, what? Oh, okay. We are going to get the hat a little bit because she's going to be singing and enjoying herself, so I want it to be more angled this direction. Back to the brush. Oops. She's having fun. We're gonna give... Whoa, what happened? The light color face. I don't remember if Shrim's eyes close or change shape at all. I think I'm going to take the creative decision to say that they do. Go with dark purple. Smaller brush. Enjoying the song. Give her eyes. We will a little bit lighter color as well. Oops. Don't really want any scraggly edges around the eyes. They're supposed to be holes in the mask. So we'll zoom in, get some nice clean edges. Oops. That's good. Okay, and then back to adding some lighter bits. Break up some of the color variation, the monotone color in there. And then for the hat, for the underside, okay, orange and purple are kind of not necessarily complementary. Not super opposed either. So for the underside of that symbol helmet, I think we'll do really push the bright colors here. That is... No, I can't do that. We're gonna... That's not happening. What I do want to do is we are going to kind of edge in that direction a little bit. And choose a little reddish color. Is that better? That's not better. Ooh, okay. The symbol hat looking correct shape. So the shape is better, color is not. Why don't I... Is it because it's just one solid color? And I need some variation in there? Is that probably what it is, honestly? So like the deeper it goes, more just red it gets? Is that slightly better? Kind of. Also, I'm going to need to go brighter as well for the top part of it, because it is shiny, so... You want... Oh, I'm doing the... Brush is too small. I want the bigger brush. Yeah, okay. That's slightly better. We do this as the darker. Just like a very little bit of dark in there. Back a little bit. Oops. Okay, that's better. I think my issue right now is that this doesn't look like it's metal, so I need to also just kind of make sure that the colors are forming a line that makes sense. That's a little bit better. Boost up like a little bit of the pink in there. Okay. Not hitting that. Not hitting that. Took a while to get there, but that's looking okay to me. In terms of the symbol hat, the rest of it, we'll work on it. We're getting there. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's refine some of the shape of the face a little bit. I think I want actually this to be slightly wider. Make sure we got the nice rounded, almost baby face, a little bit cherubic. Here. Carve away some of that a little bit. Not too much. Okay. Now I'm having the same issue because it's all one big block of color here. I'm going to need to make a decision of what other color I want this to be. I think to keep it cohesive, I think I probably want to add a little bit, lighten it up a little bit, and kind of do a bit more of a rim light thing here, as opposed to a shadow. And then just use that purple as like the darkest value that we're going for. Okay. That's slightly nicer already. Yeah. Great. Okay. Up next, let us work on... Actually, what I want to do is we are going to I should just paint over and remove the prop. We will add that back in at a later stage as a different layer, so I can move it around and play with where I want it to be. Which actually, you know what? I think because I don't have a good, strong feeling of how things are going to be posed in this bit of art, I'm actually just going to change this up a little bit. So we're going to do Sherma, Sherma head, which, oh, you can't see the layers currently. That's I guess it doesn't really matter what my layers are called to you guys, but in the interest of transparency, so you see how I'm progressing. We'll do Sherma's head. We'll do actually, if I get rid of that, if I grab this and the head, and if we cut selection to new layer, we will rename this from Sherma head to Sherma body. And then do I have the ability? Okay, great. Perfect. Make sure the head is on top of the body so I can move that stuff around later. Bring back the reference image. So we now have the body, but for the head, we just trim off the last bit there so that we have a clear. So the body, once again, we're going to give Sherma the props as a separate layer, just because I don't know what that's going to end up being or how they're going to be positioned. So do that. And because we have the body, I've done this purple, lighter purple, and we have these kind of bands of carapace, I guess, on Sherma. We'll do that. And then the cloak. Do play around some of the colors a little bit. I want the larger brush. The cloak first. Oh my god. All of that was unpainted on the Sherma head layer. So we need to undo all of that. Okay. We will lock the head so I don't do that mistake again. Switch to the body. And then we will go from there. And then for the under layers, I want it to be that's a bit too far into the red, I think. It's a bit of a torn cloak, so we'll give it some more texture on the edges. Then I want it to be more open, because Sherma's hands are going to be out holding stuff. So we'll be able to see more of the underside of the cloak. Oops. And then for some of the color variations, do this. And she's got some like carapace lines, like most of them do. we'll actually a slightly different. That's getting too close to the cloak. Well, that's fine. I also need to. Oops. Nope. 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 What's the rotating one? Is it this? Okay. Smaller. I'll do a bit of a darker one as well. Go into the blues. Like just the shading a little bit. Just make it a little bit less noticeable. I think those are too low though. Yeah, okay. I'm going to try that again, but go with this one up here and then down here. Yeah, okay. Grab the dark blue again. I do really want it to be just thin. Not like a thick line, it's just the impression that something is there. Okay, better. And then do some, grab this dark purplish color that I had, do the legs kind of come down. And then the arms come up here. Actually, we'll add the arm as part of the prop, I think. The idea. So before I get to that, the other issue that I'm having is that there's too much of a single block of color for the cloak. So we need to change that up a bit. Go a bit darker here. And they have some bits of the interior of the cloak be darker as well. Hmm. And from this one, also go more blue to give myself some more variations. So we'll do. Oof. Nope, I don't like that at all. Blue is not working there. We'll go darker purple then. Some more variation to the form of the Okay, so the problem that I've done with the cloak now is that it's not really following any kind of flow of the garment anymore. There's no rhyme or reason for the colors to be where they are. It's not like it's shading something in particular. So I think what I want to do is we're gonna use this to darken things down, like just as a shading element, and then bring it back up with some of the purple. This is like a highlight again. Do some edge highlighting there. We'll highlight some folds in the cloak so we can get a shape out of it. Do like that, a bit more like that. And once again, edge highlighting and some like a fold in the cloak as such. Yeah. Okay, it's not bad. I'm not super happy with the very red pinkish underside of the cloak, so I might go back in and adjust that. We go back a little bit from there, back more towards the purple. Yeah. Even that's too much. Oh gosh, no, don't like that at all. You know what? No, I take it back. I might just undo all of that, because the red, when taken as a whole, it's not too bad. It's not terrible. It does give the impression that there's like a different fabric on the underside of the cloak, which not ideal, but also not the worst thing ever. either, so I think I might actually just leave it at that. And then we'll just move the body up slightly. There's no clear space. And then we'll give myself another layer for the props. Yeah. So we'll grab the orange. Sorry, we'll lock the body down as well for now. Do the props in front of everything. The ball. Or not the ball, the bell. Sorry. Metal object. And then her needle. Or walking stick thing. Whoops. Which will be... oddly, let's go with a greenish color to differentiate it from everything else. So we'll do ball. And the needle. Walking stick thing. More of a head thing here. And then I think let's just grab this and then see what it looks like if I put more rotated. So it's like, looks like she's clanging it together. Do I want it to be middle of hitting or just on the way? I think on the way is slightly nicer. So we'll do that. Oops. And then we'll do for the brush. Do hands holding it. Holding it here as well. And kind of disappears back there, so I can just do that. Yeah, and then we'll taper this down a little bit more so it's not quite so long. Great. Now I just need to, once again, make this look like it's shiny metal. And then there's going to be a bit of fading in here. Bit of shading underneath. really want any perfectly straight lines along here, so I'm just gonna it's a little bit skewed. I think I maybe want to break it up a little bit too, so not just a fully. Oops. A straight line all the way down. Well. Okay, no, that didn't work. What do I need to... do I want it to be wider? It's shinier? Or is it because it just makes it look like it's going straight up and down and isn't actually curved rounded shape, which I think is probably the issue. If we... hang on. We do this again, and then instead of going straight down the middle, it's further off to the side, and then comes back to the middle. Okay, slightly better. Yeah, okay. Do you want it to be slightly brighter still too? Like this bit, and then I want this to be more of the actual color of the bell thing. Okay, that's fine-ish. I think I also want to, oops, go back to the hat and make sure that we have a little bit of the brightest yellow up here too, to really just sell the shape of it. Yeah, okay, great. And then for the walking stick, I do want it to be kind of grayish. I don't want to really saturate it too much more. I do want to add some... Oops. Okay. We'll lock the head again, back to the props. Do want to add some shadows. Oh, what is happening? Okay. Nothing important for the stream. Excellent. Okay, there's my crazy colored shawarma. I think that looks fine. For now, we will group them together. Come on, quick group. Rename that to shawarma. Maybe I want to play around with the size a little bit of shawarma. Great. Cool. I actually need to take a brief break. I will be right back. Let me... That... oh, I don't have a... Interesting. Something that I will have to do. We'll do... let me see. Okay. Cool. So, I will be right back. Need to take a quick bio break. It's a couple minutes, grab a drink of water. Yeah, and we will continue in just a couple minutes. All right, I'm back. Lied about the water. Got a energy drink instead. Electric blue something or other. Oh, nope, not for me. Well, gonna have to live with it for the next 45 minutes or so. That's fine. Okay, so up next we have Sherma. Oh, I'm not muted. Excellent. What was it doing? We're going to do Hornet next. Hornet playing her Needle In. So, give myself a new layer. Myself a new layer. This will be Hornet. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So, for Hornet, we're going to want to do this very bright red cloak. And Hornet is like half head taller, so do cloak. And then this. The cloak is technically going to be slightly open. Do some the purple on the inside here as well. It's got a white head. Well, and then do be consistent with the darker colors. Oops. Come on. Ooh. No, the doesn't come from there. Arm will come from here. Which means that cloak opens here. And come on. Book falls open there. Come on, select the color. Thank you. Okay, no, Hornet is too large currently. So we shall. Down a little bit. Back to the brush. Yeah, okay. And then we got the... Okay. Actually, I like this one as the header shading of the cloak. That looks pretty good. Then we'll get this darker one, the more deeper interior shadows. Come on. Hmm. Turn this down a little bit. Right there. Great. Okay. And we'll do the similar thing. We'll add a prop layer for Hornet's Needle-In. Hornets is going to be I get a bluish gray. I want it to be a little bit darker because I need to do make the strings light because they kind of glow in the game itself, so I kind of want to keep that vibe. Oh. Also, I need to try and make sure that there's a floor plane that makes sense. Oops. Goes on to about there. Good. Okay. And then I want to go slightly darker. In so darker in the middle. It lines out to the sides. Whoops. Great. Okay, and then I want a little bit lighter. Just vibrant blue. I think I want just like the highlights on the edge a little bit. Oops. Great. Now, it's not particularly straight up and down. That's fine. We'll do this dark color. And around this edge here. And then brilliant white. And I don't think I want a brush for this one. I think I want not the pencil, the pen. Good. And then I want the other arm to be coming across, back to the brush. Great. I like that. I think it's maybe a little far out, so we're gonna just bring it in ever so slightly. Back to the brush. Get rid of that a little bit. The arm a bit larger. Yeah. Okay. Pretty good with that. Let me back to check out the vibes of that. I'm pretty okay with that. The colors are crazy vibrant, which is part of my goal. The background, I'm gonna, I think, spend some time. First of all, I want to spend some time adjusting the placement to see what works better. Sherma looks a little large compared to Hornet currently, so I'm going to mark her down just a little bit. I take it back. Making her a little bit more squat is nice. Hornet, and the Needlein, we're going to also just group those. Group. Name that to Hornet. We'll adjust that as well, just a little bit. Just a little bit wider, shorter. Yeah. And then we're gonna put Sherma in front of Hornet. In front of Hornet. Nope. come on. Yeah, okay. I think it looks pretty cute. Hello, Adele. How's it going? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I am currently working to try to push myself to use colors that I wouldn't normally use, which is putting me very far outside of my comfort zone. So, yeah. It feels very odd to look at something so vibrant compared, like, if you are aware of Silksong at all, the colors in that game do not match what I have done here in the slightest. But I'm kind of happy how it's turned out. Let's see what I want to. I think we're going to adjust the position of them a little bit and center them a bit more in the frame. A little bit further down, maybe out here. Yeah, we'll do that. Now I want to adjust the background. The background to me right now looks a little too much like just straight up squiggles. And I'd like to change that up a little bit. First things first, I want to make sure they're standing on something. So we'll give them some ground to stand on, just above the background layer. We'll rename that to ground. Excuse me. We'll go with brush. Ooh, okay. And then do I want to just give them like a boring, just the ground layer? No. With everything else being super bright and colorful, just doing gray or a brown's not gonna do it for me, I don't think. So we'll do. I don't really want to do purple either. Do I want to do like a? I think I want to do green. We just do a darker, like a. No. That's also not what I'm looking for. We'll try. What about some green? Do green. No, that's also not. Maybe it is just a blue, and I just have to adjust the rest of the background to accommodate the blue of the ground here. We do different variations of the dark blue color here. Just give them some ground to stand on. You know what? I don't actually hate that. In terms of like colors and stuff. We just do some of that ground there. And then let's see if I can. If I can't just do. Oops. Once again, I am on the wrong layer. I'll go with the background. Give it some more texture, I think. So. Just gonna do some splats here. Try to make it a little bit more interesting and like textured, so it's not such a departure from the rest of the piece in terms of like style of brush strokes and such. Okay. I'm a little bit better. I think what is missing is just some color variation in there as well. I'm gonna go try just to give some like, ooh, do I like that yellow? I don't think I like that yellow. Let's try this again. A little bit brighter, more saturated. More of an orangey color, is that nope, that's not better. More an actual orange then. Is that okay, that's slightly better. We'll just nice colors there. Go for just some like neon green. Some of that in here too, just with some more. No, don't like that one. Smaller. Now, do I like that green at all? Not really. Okay. Take it back. We're just gonna go undo a whole bunch until we get to back to here where it's, I like it all right. We're fine here, but we're gonna just add another layer to try to get some more colors in. So we'll, is this the green that I want? I think I want it slightly darker. Yeah, less saturated. And then since this is a separate layer, I can erase it a bit to tone it down. I don't necessarily want a ton of green, but I do want some color variation in there. We'll do another layer as well. This one will be the orange that I had. Do something similar. Put some on, take some away. Yeah, and then, okay, so the last bit then, I want some, like, bright yellow. Golden? No, let's go with some, like, lime green. Once again, just another new layer. Just to put some in, take some away. There, something slightly more interesting in terms of background color. Yeah. All right, I think that's pretty good. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, and I think it's probably Hornet has no shading on her head. So let's fix that. Before we do that, let's do proper organization. We will group these together. We will quick group that. We will call this color splats. And then we'll name these, make sure I know what these ones are. This is going to be lime green. Actually, no, this is fluorescent day glow. This one is the lime green. Nope, that's the orange. Orange. And this one is the lime green. Oh, I can't spell. It's fine. Don't need to spell to be good at art. But organization is helpful. Great. Okay, so what was I doing? I was going to add some colors or some shading to Hornet. So, how do I want to do this? Is this going to be too much? Probably. Yes, that is far too colorful. Okay, but that's kind of the range that I want to be in. No. It's not gonna do it. Okay, I think what I would need to do here, we're gonna lock the, whoops. Oh, lock the transparency. There it is. Trying to mask it to below, which is not quite what I was intending to do. I don't really want to go like lose the shape that I have here. I like the shape. I just want to add the teeniest bit of shading to it. Oopsies. Oh, and then it's going to be too bright here, so I want to kind of just tone it down just a teensy bit. Give it some gradients here. All right, that's better. Zoom me out again. Ah, hey Brick, how's it going? Yeah, it has been a while. I took some time off for holidays, and then I got sick for a bit. So this is the second week back in a row. We're trying to become much more regular in terms of streaming again. So that's what Mondays and Fridays, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be doing some streaming again. And yeah. Fridays being the art streams, of course. And then we're gonna try to push our way through Hollow Knight, Silksong. Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so man, as a whole, the background colors I'm not sold on. They're fine, I think, but like I think the problem is I didn't really have any rhyme or reason for adding them, so they're just kind of there randomly. And so I can get rid of it, which I need some of it, because some of it is fine. Do I just get rid of the day glow, maybe? Just kind of do it slightly more understated, keeping more with the colors in the actual piece, perhaps. Maybe I'll try to add another one. Try it slightly differently. And instead of choosing a random color, let's grab a purple here. And just kind of keep the piece slightly more coherent in terms of like coloring. Yeah, okay, I like that better already. Back to the orange. Oops. Yeah, that's slightly nicer, I think. Like I said, I prefer that to like the the day glow colors that we had going on before. I think I want to maybe just do a bit of like a blend brush on the background. To soften out some of the harsher bits, just kind of blur it together. Not fully, but just a little touch up there. I'm actually gonna undo some of that because I liked that big splat here. I'm just gonna soften some of these harsher bits that don't need to be there. Especially around the characters. Kind of bring them more central focus. No, you know what? I'm just gonna undo all of that. I think I was overzealous. Yeah, okay, so just soften up some of the backgrounds around the characters. Just so we can give them a bit more of the focus. There's not so many sharp lines or harsh lines against them. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think it's probably going to be as good as we get. The last thing that I'm going to do is we'll go back to the airbrush. We'll go back to the neutral white and just kind of soften it up around the characters. Oops, maybe not Hornet's head as much. Just kind of do all of that, and we are going to just kind of, as an effect over top of everything in the background, just like a light airbrushing around the characters so they stand out a bit more. Apparently not above the ground. The ground will be on its own. But I do want to just kind of lighten things up a bit, or desaturate them ever so slightly. Okay. I feel like that's the vibe that I'm going for. We tried to push it with the colors, which pretty happy with. The background I got to work on and figure out, do some studying of how to do nice backgrounds quickly, because this is fine. It does feel like they are out in like a weird foresty thing though, just with the way the splatters are showing up, which I don't know if that actually exists in Hollow Knight anywhere, but that's fine. It doesn't need to be actually in the game. I have artistic license to do stuff. But yeah, well, I think that's gonna be it for the art stream today. So this is what I managed to accomplish in about 2 hours, trying to really push the colors still. Again, I'm pretty happy with it. I should kind of stop there for now, I think, because I don't want to be overly critical while it's still fresh in my mind. I'll be able to come back to it next week once again, look at it more critically at that point. But we're at a point now where I'm happy to stop, and so that's what we'll do. We'll just call it there for now. So thank you all for watching and for hanging out with me while I practice my digital art painting skills. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Good luck with any projects that you're working on. And if you're interested in watching me play through Hollow Knight Silksong for the first time, I will be back on Monday morning at 9:30, barring any injuries or illness, of course. And hopefully I'll see you all then. And join me again next week for some more digital art stream. Yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you very much. See you later.